to Abyssian then.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about Abyssians
Um,
nowadays?
I mean, it's been great. So like in a similar way, like where Xeron was enabled with the Bloodborne expansion, the same way Lilith was also super enabled by all those cards, which is pretty much Furiosa and Variax and Horror Burster to agree. Like I've seen
A little bit, yeah.
this with both with and without Horror Burster. So those three cards have been super strong for Lilith. But yeah, definitely, especially Furiosa and Variax have been huge. Because Furiosa, like you have like super amazing opening, which is with the Cryptographer, which is like another card we should probably talk about. Like, oh, we will later, because it's like probably the most,
I mean,
like the most played neutral card that got added.
yeah.
But yeah, you can do like an opening where you just open with Furiosa on tile, Cryptographer, BBS as player 2, which is like a insane opening.
You've played 4 minions turn 1. This is incredible. Yeah.
It's incredible. So that's a really strong play. And then Variax obviously is just a win condition by itself.
I've played a few games with Variax, and I found that Variax tends to be more or less your only win condition. And I saw, I think it was the tournament where you got the Grandmaster title.
Yeah.
One contender played a Lilith deck, and he didn't draw Variax for like 20 cards. And he was over half his deck and still no Variax, and he just lost because the rest of the deck wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
And
well, that's obviously a very unfortunate situation. It should never happen, or maybe it happens in 1 out of 100 games that you don't get one Variax by like more than half of your deck, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there were 2 versions. So basically, you have like a Variax version where Variax is the only win condition, and everything else just revolves around like removal and just getting to the point where Variax wins you the game. Or rather, your awesome Bloodborne spell wins you the game. And then there's another version, so you can still play like Deathfire Crescendo, right? And that can still allow you to get a lot of damage out. But just how it developed with like Lilith and Variax in general is that like just after the Bloodborne expansion, everyone thought it was just super broken. Variax was just really strong. Lilith was really strong, and everyone was playing it in like tournaments. I think that it was when was it Kolas? Yeah, I think it was Kolas who just posted his deck and was like, "Oh, this is just a super strong deck right now," and everyone just played it. But it just took a while, and eventually people stopped playing Lilith. Like in the last 2 big tournaments, which were like Duelist Open for me and the qualifier of December. Like there was maybe 1 guy, maybe 2 guys that brought Lilith, but very few people really played it because it's still too slow, right? So you have to really play a Variax with Darkfire Sacrifice on 5 mana. Like if you get that, like you can get like a turn 2 or a turn 3 Variax, right? Potentially. That obviously usually wins you the game, but if you don't get that, it's just often just too slow, and by the time you play Variax, you're already almost dead. And because in tournaments, in most tournaments, you can only pick 1 general per faction. Usually people just bring Cassava because Cassava is just super strong, and it just usually does its jobs. Like it's very rare that you don't win a game with Cassava.
It's like the safer bet.
Exactly. So, and then like in the qualifiers or in the DPL as well, in the finals, you actually bring 4 lists, and you're allowed to bring 2 generals of the same faction, and then the enemy has 1 ban. So in that scenario, I think I've seen people bring both Variax and Cassava.
Lilith and Cassava.
Yeah. exactly.
I've seen.
Well, actually, Variax and Cassava is probably quite.
I've seen Cassava
better way.
Variax too. I've seen a tournament game where the Cassava player.
Yeah, good point.
Variax.
I actually play Variax. Maybe that was my game that you saw. I actually play Variax.
Definitely possible. And I really liked it. I think you had both Variax and Obliterate and the Rush minion.
Yeah.
And I think I like these kinds of decks. They were like very well rounded, and you can react to several situations, and you don't rely on a single win condition.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like, well, we can, I guess, swap to Cassava now. With that, Cassava, Cassava got Punish pretty much. Punish has been super strong. Because you just ping Punish, kill a minion, get a Shadow Creep for 3 mana. And it like there were a lot of matchups where it also really helped. Like there's a matchup like even against Kalios or Riva, right? So you only had Demonic Lore, right?
Yeah.
But Demonic Lore doesn't do anything against Songhai, and it doesn't really do anything against Vanna either with the sister. So Punish was just a great addition because it allowed Cassava to be strong in those matchups that she struggled against previously, and it just generally helps. So usually Punish is a 3-off in Cassava lists right now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that. When I face it in Constructed or in Gauntlets, all around a really good spell. You can more or less always follow it up with another body, so you don't even lose too much tempo.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great spell.
Yeah. Just quickly for the other cards. Aphotic Drain.
Yeah.
People thought it was garbage. It is garbage.
It is. Yeah. I don't know what Counterplay Games was thinking with this card.
I don't know. It's like you want 2 mana. Like if it was a 0 mana spell, I could see that.
Yeah.
Right. 0 mana would be okay. It would be actually pretty good. But 2 mana is like no way I'm gonna play that.
Maybe they saw the Purified drama and thought, yeah, we want that too. We want to have a Purified for Duelist too.
Yeah. I don't know. And yeah, Horror Burster is solid. Can definitely do some work. Especially because you can just abuse the opponent's battle pads in that sense. Because ideally your enemy dispels that card before it gets a target. But if you can just put it in the way of a battle pad, it'll just kill itself, and you get a horror.
For a Dying Wish minion, the stats are actually pretty okay, because with 3 mana, the 4 attack is more important than the health.
Exactly.
You want to trade into a 4-drop, and with that stat line, it's definitely possible.
And then finally, the Bloodborn spells here, the new ones are obviously good.
Yeah.
When you play them. And then Necrotic Sphere, I haven't really seen anyone tag or play that, but I still think it can be a strong card. I still think it's definitely a card you could play in Cassava, just like to catch people off guard in the same way with Decimate. If you play against like a Tempo Lion or something, and just play like 2 minions and a slow in your face or something, like just playing Necrotic Sphere can win you the game. But
it's just whenever I play Abyssian, I don't really want to stick too close to their minions. I'd rather run away and place Blood Moon Priestess behind me, or I don't know.
Exactly. That's the ideal situation. But in matchups where you just get overrun, I think Necrotic Sphere could be at least a good tech choice to that you could play in Cassava, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, final verdict. Cassava was super strong before the patch, is still very strong after the patch, if not even more strong or stronger than it was before. And Lilith as well. Lilith, I still think is slightly worse than Cassava, but it's definitely great to see that like another general is playable now.
That's true.
In the game.
very important aspect. Enabling more generals. That's always nice to see.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, we have we have Magma first.
Magma, right.
Oh man, Magma. Oh, oh man. If you don't mind, I'd like to start.
Go ahead.
And I just want to lose a little bit of salt when we were talking about entropic gaze and tectonic spikes. We were both like, I think, dreading the burst potential of the new Magma decks, and boy, did that potential get fulfilled. Like, I've seen videos of crazy, I don't know, 12, 15 damage out of hand without any way of countering, and just pulling wins out of their asses. Yeah, those two cards are amazingly strong.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so pretty much Grand Core, Gaze, and Spikes have seen a lot of play. It kind of started off that just after the expansion, people just like built the most simple, obvious face decks, right? So you just play even either Vath or Starhorn with like Entropic Gazes, Spikes, Flame Blood Warlocks, Dumping Waves, you know, all that shit that you have. It's just the obvious way. But now, like, and you can still play that, and it's still strong. But I think how it developed now, at least in like tournaments that I played in, I think Vath was just ended up being the best choice. So you play like a mid-range Vath list with Entropic Gaze. I don't even think you play Tectonic Spikes. But yeah, just Entropic Gaze is super strong by itself because you can be very aggressive because you do have like natural selection, Tiger Stumping Waves, Entropic Gaze and other stuff, right? To be very aggressive, but you can also just stall out, buff Vath up a bunch, and then you have Earth Spheres and Mercantor Warbeasts to win you the game. And just by waiting a bit, you eventually get your Entropic Gazes, and that's just like 8 or 12 damage that you just do, So I feel like, whereas it was very just super face lists in the beginning, after the expansion, I think now it's moved towards more mid-rangey lists. And as for Starhorn, Starhorn is similar. I think obviously Starhorn is more suited to being played more aggressive, so Starhorn is still a more aggressive list. Don't really play mid-range Starhorn. Just really Decimus. But I think what's been pretty popular is also is Mechhorn, Mech Starhorn, which is also
several of those two.
Yeah, which is also what I brought to win the Grandmaster title.
I think that's where I've seen Mechhorn. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mechhorn is super strong, right? Because you have like you can literally just win games without playing Mechazor, right? And in some matchups you actually have to do that because maybe Mechazor would be too slow,
or it gets answered immediately.
Yeah. So yeah, basically Mechhorn. I think that again 2 versions. There was like the one version that Jay posted, and he was like, "This is the most broken deck in the game." Maybe I'm quoting wrong, but something like that. Which didn't even play Mercantor Warbeast, just went up to 4 mana.
What?
Split Spelljammer. You don't even not even Spelljammer, just Decimus. I think you don't even bother about the Mercantor. You just play Decimus, you play Flash Reincarnation, you play all mech pieces, and you just go ham.
I think that's definitely a sign that the game is getting faster and faster when Magma decides to skip on Mercantor. Oh my god.
Well, to be fair, I disagree with that choice. I did play Mercantor Warbeast in my list.
Okay.
Because they're still too good. And maybe I had the advantage that people thought everyone was playing like Jay's list without Mercantor, and then they didn't play around it. And that's kind of when Mercantor is the strongest, right? When people get lazy and not play around it perfectly, it just punishes super hard. but yeah, it's great. Entropic Gaze, Tectonic Spikes for Starhorn, super strong cards, and yeah.
I think more or less everybody realized those 3 cards are strong. What about the other 3 cards?
Yeah.
Do they bring
Well,
something on the board?
I really haven't seen anyone play Thrax, the 3 mana minion. He's decent because I think we've said that in the videos we did before that it's a good 3-drop. Magma doesn't really have any 3-drops, but I haven't seen anyone play that really. Yeah, like Rancor obviously has been played. I've definitely seen people play mid-range Drogon Vath, which is actually pretty decent, just because mid-range Vath is always good in a way. But yeah, it's not easy to get like a good Drogon combo off reliably, to be honest. And once you know that your opponent plays Drogon, like you just start to play around it as much as you can, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely, it has seen some play. And then Wagner's Seal is just, I don't know. I think it's super garbage. I haven't seen anyone play that.
I think the risk is just too great because the reward doesn't do too much, right?
Yeah, well, it's not even like the only way you can play it is like with the guy which has an opening gambit, hatch and egg, right? That's like the only way you could play that, because there's no way you can just waste 4 mana to play an egg that has to survive. Like there's no way you can do that. You'll just lose the game. Especially if you have like the option to play Chrysalis Burst, which just gives you 4 eggs for 4 mana, right? Which are probably most of those are better minions than Spirit of Valknu. So yeah, that kind of
the idea of counterplay game was that you play Valknu Seal a bit later when you have artifacts equipped.
Yeah, for effects. Sure. When Vath is buffed, yeah.
But then when you play this later, your opponent has more cards, more things in his hand, more answers, and then the egg is even easier to break. So it's very, very difficult to actually utilize this card.
Yeah. I think it would be cool if it would be like Grandmaster Zir, right? Whereas like the spirit actually becomes your general. If your general dies, so you kind of have 2 generals on the board.
Okay,
that'd be a cool change, but I guess they wanted to have like limit those special effects to the Grandmasters only, right?
Also, this leaves them open to make another Grandmaster for Magma, right?
Exactly.
This is technically not a Grandmaster. Yeah, I've seen the Valknu Seal a few times in Gauntlet, and every time it was very, very disappointing.
But yeah, I'm wondering, so how is Magma in Gauntlet right now in general? Like, can you just pick it and get like 3 Entropic Gazes every time and just and win with that?
Gaze is really, really strong in Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because whenever you get low, I want to distance myself from Magma. Let's just say Vath. And now I'm thinking, yeah, I'm safe as long as I'm far away, and then suddenly Entropic Gaze, and I die. So Entropic Gaze is really, really strong in Gauntlet right now.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, Vath still relies a lot on burst in Gauntlet to win. They are really weak to removal because they have no Dying Wish minions. They're weak to dispel because they're grow minions, and it's most of the time when I play Magmar, I don't get enough burst, but when I do, I can go really, really high. And without the burst, it's just no can do.
All right, but yeah, final verdict again. Magmar. Valve was super strong, I think, before the patch. It's still strong after the patch. Got another kind of win condition in the Entropic Gaze, or that at least helps you burn on your opponent. And then it's super nice, like same with the other factions, or some of the other factions. We have another general now, Starhorn.
I mean, Starhorn is not a meme anymore, right?
Exactly. Starhorn, the Seeker, is can be super brutal now. You know, just like a Decimus tectonic spikes just kills you pretty much. But yeah, it's nice to see again more generals being viable and competitive as well.